All right, Eric, here we are, Xtek Partners. What in the heck do you guys do here?
Well, we're a technology solution provider. We work with a lot of businesses, whether it's education or some small, medium businesses, where we help them figure out their day-to-day IT needs. Some of that could be procurement of product, selling laptop, desktops, monitors, all the way to full integration services of camera systems, access control, paging systems, outdoor speakers, things of that nature. So it's pretty unique, but we do a really good job with that.
All right, let's peel back the layers a little bit. I'm just a moron. I get the hardware stuff. I get the laptops. I get the, even security cameras. I get the hardware part of it. But integration, what does that mean?
Yeah, so once in most cases, we send an engineer, a designer out to help with a walkthrough. And then from that, we get an understanding, okay, you understand the hardware, but let's look at your blind spots. Let's look at entry points for a camera system or Wi-Fi network where you need that Wi-Fi coverage. So we will come out and help you design a layout with a bill of material. From there, if you agree with it, we have installation services, structured cabling, mounting the cameras, setting up your servers, connecting to the cloud, anything security related with those projects, even access control, what doors need certain access control. We will come out with our engineers and actually install it, test it, have a workmanship behind it where we back it and basically hand the keys over to you and say, okay, this is done the way that you request it to be done.
Okay, now we're operating and something goes wrong. Who do I call?
So you can call Xtek. So we have a full scale of 24/7 support, whether that's with your network, whether that's cybersecurity, getting hacked, whether that's, hey, I don't have a door for some reason, it's not functioning, so maybe that's a dead battery or a disconnected cable. We have technicians or a maintenance crew that would come out and help you refocus a camera, remount a camera. Maybe a camera went dead DOA, so we'll take that camera down, send it back to the manufacturer, put up a new camera, but we make sure that we keep you up and running. Some of that could be a contract base where you say, hey, I want to make sure 24/7 that my business or my school is up and running, all the way to just calling us and we'll open up a service ticket and give you best effort.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned cybersecurity because so many small, medium-sized businesses, and really the sweet spot of where you want to be,
yes,
all the way up to public schools and large clients of yours, kind of just hope for the best when it comes to cybersecurity. And just, with the development of AI now, and I can talk to my phone and it can give me an answer, or it can write my term paper for me. Where do you guys come in when it comes to cybersecurity?
So we have a managed service offering, and it could be a la carte. So depending on what level you are, it could be co-managed, it could be fully managed. But today's world, right? A lot of entities, businesses, and schools might not have everything buttoned up from a security standpoint. Now there's auditing, there's insurance, there's all this ransomware that's available. So we can come in with a health assessment, a free assessment that we can offer to WIBN members. But we can help you put together a strategy to say, hey, I got antivirus. Well, maybe that's not enough. Maybe you want to look at your backup and your endpoint recovery and, the dark web. I mean, people are monitoring, trying to hack passwords, gain all that information. So we'll help you build, almost some of these Fortune 500 companies are spending millions of dollars to protect themselves. We can offer this in a nice bundled package to protect a small business, medium business, to a school district and give you that 24/7, 365 high-level expertise that you guys can feel comfortable with, where you could go to sleep and say, hey, I know my business is protected, even though the challenges are ever growing with AI and everything that's out there, but we can put a plan in place, again, co-managed or managed completely, that would make you comfortable with what your security posture would be at that time.
So with technology evolving as quickly as it is, you guys really have to be up to date, up to speed, and be the expert for the small businesses of the world that just want to go about and do what they're good at. That's where you guys come in.
Yeah, all the way to, C-level discussions about where your business is today. Because sometimes, a CTO, a CEO, a president might not have a full understanding. Oh, I got antivirus, but that doesn't mean, even today with Microsoft, Windows 11. And Windows 10 is going to stop. So a lot of these businesses that have Windows 10 in place, they will no longer have security, or they'll just have a baseline security package. But for patches and new rollouts, that's all going to be Windows 11. So those are the conversations that we have, where you're at today with your security needs, where you're at with your bandwidth, with your skill set that's in-house and what you might need to take a look at. And then it all comes down to cost, right? What you might be paying for a certain, and that's where we also find, a lot of businesses will have 10 different contracts with 10 different manufacturers, cloud providers, their internet, their back-end accounting, their student database. So we try to bundle that down into maybe one pane of glass where we have the security all wrapped up together, so there's not finger pointing. Everything's under control and being monitored and managed.
You mentioned ransomware earlier, and in my mind, ransomware only happens to big banks and Wall Street firms and people that have money that can be taken from one to the other. You gave me an example off camera of, Sally's secretary that clicked the wrong button. How do you protect the large to medium to small business from clicking on the wrong button on an email that they get?
Well, part of that managed service, again, they were offering end user training. So there are training modules that we bring to the table, and sometimes it's let them click on it first before we now come in and educate them and say, this is what could have caused ransomware. But I just pulled this out. 75% of small businesses cannot recover from ransomware. So think about that. That's pretty huge. The other point, ransomware on average results in a loss of $500,000 for small, medium businesses. We look at the other factor that stood out to me was 60% of small, medium businesses, if they get hit by ransomware, will close. So can you imagine 60% of small, medium businesses, if you got hacked, which they are starting to come down. They're still always going to go after the Fortune 500, but they are now starting to come down into school districts and small, medium businesses. And that's where we can help you build a protection, layer of protection, a strategy to have in place. It's not always 100% because of today's world and the hackers that are out there, but we can make sure that it's pretty solid and robust.
But they're not really necessarily looking for my personal bank account information. That's a no-brainer. They're holding hostage your backup information, right?
Correct. So that's another thing that we do on the backup service. A lot of the hackers today with ransomware, they're not really they just want your backups, and they're going to shut them down, and they will grab that information, and that's where they're going to say, hey, we want you to pay us $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $200,000 to get your data. I know certain times we find that small businesses are dealing with credit card transactions, right? All that data could be just taken from you. If your business was relying on credit card transactions, social security numbers, all that data could be stolen from you, and you're now at prison with that, trying to say, hey, how can I bring it back up? And if you don't have the backup, and that's where a lot of businesses, small, medium businesses are like, I got internet, my systems are running good, and all of a sudden something goes down, and then you're like, oh, where's my backup? I don't have a backup. So now the 50,000 customers that I deal with on a day-to-day, I don't have any of that information. My people come into the office, everything's down, we can't operate. Think about how much revenue you would lose as a business.
Right. So being able to reach out to a trusted partner like you that not only stays on top of all of the now software things that we've talked about, but backing up a little bit from A to Z, from scoop to nuts, You guys are able to take a project, somebody says, I need this, all the way to fruition. And then on the backside, I saw that your guys are even servicing warranty and non-warranty pieces, right? So they're able to take it where I can just pick up the phone and say, Eric, my Chromebook's down.
Yeah. So, and even kind of backing up to a point, we have to stay certified with our manufacturers, right? We're bringing in high-level talent to get certified, understand the roadmaps of where our manufacturers are going with technology. And then, we come in and sit down at the table and say, okay, what are you trying to accomplish? And from there, we always try to just put a plan in place. Here's a design, here's a bill of material, here's what it would cost to install it, and here's how we're going to keep maintaining that product, solution, control, how we're going to bundle that up with a support package that you would feel comfortable with.
So Xtek Partners been around almost 20 years now, 2006.
Correct.
So almost 20 years now. You had mentioned about 60% of the work that you do are actually school systems, right?
Yes.
Big schools that are local to the area, some that are even in the surrounding area, right?
Yep.
But also small businesses. And like we talked about, it's very, very important to make sure that those businesses are protected to be able to do the commerce. I can't imagine opening up a business, say in 2006, doing as hard a work as I can with my hands and grit my teeth and go to work every single day, and then some tech thing shuts me down 75%.
I think it's really interesting. I mean, sometimes every customer is different, right? Every customer has different needs. So part of it's relationship driven, and then once we build that relationship and trust, then it might be transactional. Hey, I need 500 Chromebooks for today. We also offer the white glove service. I took you back in our config center. We'll unbox, put the asset tag, we'll enroll it into the management console, and then we'll deliver 10 in a box, all the power supplies. That's a value add to a customer. And then you follow it up. Once we deliver those Chromebooks, you come back and say, hey, 10 students just broke these Chromebooks. We're an authorized warranty repair center. We'll bring them in. We'll fix the cracked screens. Anything that's in warranty, out of warranty, we'll work with you. The same thing with a small business, right? Your need might be, hey, I need a new camera system. I need a new server upgrade. Hey, Windows 11 is out. I need to upgrade my new computers. Well, we'll also bring those laptops, desktops into that config center, and we'll work with a master image, a gold image with you that you say, this is what every one of my employees, from an application, a software, how they're connecting to the cloud. We'll design that to a master image, so when we bring these laptops back out to you, these people it's ready to open. It's going to connect to your Wi-Fi. Your end users are going to have all their applications, their bookmarks, everything's going to be put in place, and they're going to be off and running. So then, as you mentioned, the cybersecurity side, right? We really are trying to help small businesses, small, medium businesses with that. We see that being a huge need in this space. Maybe, and even look towards the managed services, right? Helping you manage your environment. But the cybersecurity is huge now. And we offer a free vulnerability assessment where we'll come in, health check, just take a look at your environment and give you a report. Whether you want to do something from there, that's fine. I'm really trying to help out the WIBN members of saying, hey, this is a free assessment. We also do pen testing, which might be something, more of trying to hack into your environment to give you where your open spots, your weak points are within your business. But yeah, we sit down, we try to learn your business, what your needs are, and then we try to put solutions together that would deliver results for you.
Phases, right? So you showed me a replica of a classroom, or even like an auditorium or a theater, where a local school system has phased in based on budget.
Correct.
Which has got to be, a big school system, big budget, phasing in the technology, taking out the old chalkboard. Oh wait, they're called whiteboards now.
Yeah.
and then putting in the smart technology, right?
Yeah.
And that happens to be phased. That took 5 years.
Yeah.
And then the next phase and the next phase. So truly, you are a consultative sale when it comes to really bringing the best tools into the classroom for the kids.
Yeah, I mean, I go back to relationship driven, right? And hopefully any other successful business would say, if I have a relationship with you and you trust me, now we look at what your plan is. And for some schools, this one particular project in the classroom, they wanted to update all their technology, from connecting the teacher to a device, projector, TV, interactive display, how that connectivity could be secure, so little Johnny isn't out in the hallway trying to get control of the screen, how it could be reliable. Most teachers complain, I have this technology in my classroom, but it only works half the time. So we designed something that really fits and really works well and is secure and is reliable. And then that school would say, based on our budget for this year, this is the 4 or 5 buildings that we can do. And we were fortunate, this was a larger school district. So phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, we just kept getting better. If newer technology was out, we would make that adjustment at the time. But it's been a very successful project for us. And sometimes when you do a really good job for a school, they'll talk to other schools, which then leads into, additional business that people would reach out to us. Hey, I heard you did a great job at ABC school. Can you come in and help us? Yes, we can. And thank you. So,
how long have you been with Xtek?
I've been with Xtek for 12, 13 years now, and it's been pretty amazing.
What brought you here or into this line of work?
Yeah, so I worked for a previous company, they were about a $400, $500 million nationwide company. And some of the integration services I showed you today, with what we would do with laptops and Chromebooks, it was up in Cleveland. And there was always, they would add, delivery fee, from Cleveland to bring it down to me. Well, through a business through a person I knew, introduced me to Xtek, Sue Hare. I think you met Sue, our CEO. Me and her sat down, and she's like, yeah, I could do this all locally for you. I'm like, oh, you could do my imaging? Oh, you can do my break fix? I was like, this is, at a better cost than what my own company was doing. So it was amazing to work with some larger companies like a Bob Evans, where we would do a rollout of laptops. And then if the customer had, hey, we have a DOA, sometimes things happen. I have a dead machine. Xtek would like get in the car, drive out and fix it. I'm like, this is really cool. So the owner of Xtek, Sue, was, hey, can you come work for me? And at first I was like, I don't know, small business, small integrator at the time. And finally one day there was enough reasons to make me make the move. And when I did, we've gone from maybe 2 million to 30 million in about 12 years. So it's been an amazing ride. Great culture, great family culture. They actually care about you. And when you grow from 10 employees to 20 employees to now we're over 50 employees, you get to know people pretty well. I got a lot of designers, engineers, integrators, sales reps, leadership that we all work together very well. So it's been a good ride.
Let's pivot. Let's talk about wrestling.
Yeah.
What got you into the sport of wrestling? When did you start?
One of my best friends in second grade, he kept telling me to come out for wrestling. I didn't know what it was about, football, baseball, the other sports. But I was like, yeah, let's go. So from second grade, got involved with wrestling. First couple matches, you're just walking out like, what the heck? But all of a sudden, it just became kind of a family sport for us. And even my dad was a basketball player, baseball player, but next thing you know, we're moving the furniture out in the front room, getting down, and he's learning moves. And I have an older brother, 3 years older, and just been a great, he's been a great mentor for me, but helped me through wrestling. He was a great wrestler as well, but that just became, my sister was a matinee, we were pack everybody up and drive to the different tournaments. And then probably the one thing my dad did for us, I'm from southeast Ohio, Cambridge area, and nothing wrong. Love the area, still love it. But we used to have the 4, 5, 6 local tournaments that you went to. You see the same kids. And all of a sudden my dad talked to somebody and said, hey, we got to go to Cleveland. We got to go to Canton. We got to get up to Akron. So we're walking into some of these, bigger tournaments in the summer that you're seeing better kids, better wrestling. And I think that really paid dividends for me and my brother growing up.
Still not a bad area to wrestle. You've got the Valley on one
side. I love it. Yeah.
So you've got some good wrestling around you. Philo has always been known for their middle school tournament back in the day. So not bad. So let's transition into your later years.
Yeah.
Where did you take wrestling after, say, high school?
Yeah. So had a great career at high school level. Went to Ashland University, 90 through 94. Was a 3-time academic All-American national qualifier. I really enjoyed it, and just fell in love with wrestling, all the way around. So it fortunate enough that it helped pay for some of my schooling, exposed me to some of my best friends and colleagues today that, I keep in touch with. And then I'm just an active. I'm just very active in following college wrestling, international wrestling, Team USA. It's awesome. It's so awesome to see what's going on with wrestling right now.
So from second grade to sitting here now, the passion that you still have for the sport, what are those tentacles that were woven into your personality to not only get you have the passion as a fan, but also in your day-to-day endeavors at Xtek Partners?
Yeah. I will say forever, wrestling incorporated that mentality of never give up. I always would tell people, hey, if you need to get this sale, you got to run through that wall to do it. I think as a wrestler, your mentality is like, if I made it through wrestling and all these hard practices, I can run through that wall. I think in sales, sometimes the rejection, out of 10 phone calls, you're going to get 8 people that are going to be rude, hang up on you. But there'll be those 2 people that do. And then that's where you build your opportunity. I'm a big 80-20 guy. 80% of the people are going to say no, 20% are. So that's where you focus on. But I think the just tenacity, I see so many people in sales and nothing. I hear them say, well, I got rejected 10 times, so I just took the rest of the afternoon off because I was so broken. And I'm like, what do you mean? You just keep going. If somebody says no, just go to the next one. And I just think that was that wrestling mentality. Never quit, never give up. You're always in the match. You just start seeing that success. And then, the work ethic, right? I mean, work ethic, all those nights of running, cutting weight, practices, 2-a-days, whatever. Sometimes in life I just think this is what we got to do. So why sit there and say, oh, this is too hard or I want to give up? It's like, no, let's just get it done and win. Let's win while we're at it. So I think those are some of the things that, I've learned. I try to bring into my kids, instill in my kids today. And, it's life. Life is good. So.
All right, let's talk about WIBN, the Wrestlers in Business Network. What brought you to the organization? Fairly new in Central Ohio. What brought you to the organization?
Yeah, interesting enough, 4 or 5 years ago, I found out about the Cleveland chapter, and I actually joined it. And I was like, well, I'm kind of in Columbus, but I live up north, almost Mount Gilead area. So I was like, it's $50 to join. Let me go see what's happening. So went to a couple events. I still had connections up in the Cleveland, Wadsworth area, friends and college wrestling teammates that I had. Got involved, and I always just thought the concept, right? Wrestlers helping other wrestlers out, either just from a networking, building friendships, relationships, to supporting new young wrestlers that came through kind of the same pathway as I did, to say, hey, I want to help you in college. I want to help you after college. I want to help you after high school. So now what's awesome is you got the networking. Sometimes we have these great happy hours, right? Even before an Ohio State match, that now I'm sitting with Rob, that we're talking wrestling, we're talking Ohio State, what Kent State's doing, what some Otterbeин's doing, some of the local sports, locals teams. And then it's like you can sit there and help a young student come out of their high school days. I don't know if it was wrestling related, but Tri Rivers Career Center in Marion, we hired one of their technicians, their student techs that went through their, it's called CTech programs. And my company loves him. He's a hardworking young individual. So once we got into that, I think it's called Your Move, and now we got the career fair that's coming through WIBN. I want my company to hire wrestlers because I know how tough we are. I understand how successful. There are times where I've had technicians maybe quit on a job and it was maybe too hard. Well, if I'm hiring a wrestler, I think they're going to get up there and crawl and pull cable and connect things and get it done. So always excited. The networking, the friendship, the value, the experiences. I mean, some of our wrestling parties that we do, the watch parties, our fundraiser night playing Texas Hold'em, and then you get to meet Tom Ryan, Coach Ryan. You get to meet people, Ohio State wrestlers, other colleges. It's just been a great exposure. For $50, it's phenomenal. But we have the Inner Circle member, which gets you more exposure with your business. I think it's right around $250 now, maybe be adjusting. For you to get exposure of your business and get it promoted, maybe sponsor one of the happy hours, it's fantastic. It's amazing.
Just to emphasize, that's per year, right?
Oh yeah, per year, yes.
$50 per year,
yeah.
Right? And again, I mean, just with this isn't my interview, it's yours, but to be around like-minded people, to have something in common, and by the way, little secret, some of the happy hours are paid for.
Yeah.
So you get your $50 back one way or the other, and just being around other people, it's a great way to go. For you and for Xtek Partners, just to bring it home now, what's a good referral for you from the group?
Mm-hmm. So if you are, and it doesn't matter if you're a Fortune 500 down to a small, medium business, if you have a project in mind, cameras, access control, video surveillance, even a upgrade from your Windows 10 devices to Windows 11, just call us. We'll come in, sit down, and talk and see what your needs, your pain points, what your strategy are. If you are a coach, a teacher at a school district, always that introduction into the IT director to say, hey, I know this guy, I trust him. Could he have maybe 10, 15 minutes of your time? We already do a lot with Central Ohio school districts, but the relationship, right? You helping me meet somebody else that's in my field that could help make decisions. Superintendents, we spend more time now with superintendents today with the decision making, right? Because they're responsible of what's happening in that district. So we're talking to treasurers, superintendents, IT directors from a school level, and then from a small, medium businesses, the presidents, the CTOs, the CIOs, CFOs, or just an IT person. Again, we do co-manage and manage. So sometimes they might say, hey, I'm already an IT director, I got it. But we can say, listen, we're not here to step on your toes. We're here to help you. We're here to extend what you can't control, or maybe some of the cyber threats that you're dealing with. So Any referrals, we would definitely take of interest. We will give our best, opinion, introduction. This is what we would recommend, but that's what I'm trying to get to.
All right. I appreciate your time, the walk around, the rolling out of the red carpet, showing me meeting some of the team.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. What am I missing?
One thing that just came to mind, which I love about our Central Ohio chapter, any wrestling program here in Central Ohio, if your kids need shoes, somebody that's less fortunate, can't afford it, that's why we did our fundraiser, so we can go to schools and say, hey, coach, if you got 3 or 4 kids, girls, boys, young, old, we have some shoes that we can give them so they feel like they're part of the team and have a nice, shiny pair of shoes walking out. I think that's amazing.
Big or small, I think we sourced a size 13 last year or something like that.
That's what all we're trying to do, is help the wrestling community, help people find jobs, network with each other, and all be successful, right? That's what we want to do at the end of the day.
All right. I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.